Scandalful Rachel Leviss and Tom Sandoval's covert romance first made headlines in March 2023. Now, Leviss is talking about how her life has altered since the Vanderpump Rules scandal rocked it more than a year ago. In her first interview in a year, the former reality star talked about her personal change, her fight with mental health, and what it would take to return to Vanderpump Rules in an interview with Us Weekly. For a very long time, it seemed as though there was no way out of the very dark days, concluded that I had to start choosing my selections more carefully, Leviss remarked. It took some time for me to apply all I had learned in my everyday life, but I feel like I can now truly begin to live for myself. Despite this, I still attend therapy and make an effort to improve myself. She went on to say that her new age is also the era of liberation and that there is a fresh degree of independence. It's an era of healing. Naturally, Sandoval and Leviss became embroiled in a cheating controversy following their months-long covert liaison during the latter's relationship with Ariana Madix. The romance between Leviss and Sandoval was revealed in March 2023. Watchers saw it revealed in the Vanderpump Rules Season 10 finale and seen it blow out during the reunion's 3-part episode. After the reconnection, Leviss checked herself into a mental health institution, and it is said that she and Sandoval parted ways in May 2023. Living in Arizona, Leviss described her shift as one of the most significant life adjustments she has experienced in the last year. She talked about her changes in lifestyle, saying, "I think the biggest is not living in LA anymore and not drinking anymore. That is more of a self-promise. I made a commitment to abstain from alcohol for a year, which I did, and I'm just sticking with it now that I've come to that realization. I also try to surround myself with good people. These are the actual lifestyle decisions I've made that have changed my life." She said that her regular exercises, which now include yoga and walking, have significantly changed her way of life. Providing further details regarding her choice to go to Arizona, Leviss stated, "It felt like I needed to get to this dangerously high level of toxicity in order to change my life. I'm appreciative that I was able to break out from it. Although I don't think all of Los Angeles is terrible, some places have the power to bring out the worst in people. I now have new friends who I see in Santa Monica, and we all have interests in things like spirituality and abstinence from alcohol. I'm in a lot healthier social circles in LA." The Bravo former employee also discussed her 3-month treatment in a mental health institution and how she applied the lessons she learned to her current situation. "I did learn a lot, which is one of the main reasons I began my podcast. I wanted to spread that information to other people," Leviss stated. In January 2024, Rachel Goes Rogue, her podcast, was released. "Since it's so common to be in unhealthy relationships, I believe that everyone has experienced some kind of circumstance when there are power disparities and you risk losing yourself. Thus, discovering what it meant to me and sharing it with others now becomes a significant portion of my life's purpose. With my podcast, I've been able to do that." She continued by saying that she would usually use rose-colored glasses and had a propensity to place my significant other on a pedestal. She talked about this throughout the interview and stated that she is now giving her female friendships priority. In contrast to the group of former co-stars and friends she had in Los Angeles while starring on Vanderpump Rules, Leviss said that her friendships are now strong. In order to gain control over one another, people shouldn't actually be pulling each other down. She said, "It felt normal to me because I felt like I was in that dynamic and that dysfunctional friend group for so long. These days, I have these new pals who have known one other for years and we get along so well. Dang, did I miss out on that kind of friendship where it actually makes a difference in your life? Is how I feel. However, I made the choice to participate in the show and to place myself in that setting, and I'm appreciative of the lessons I've picked up along the road. I may now establish friendships that will last a lifetime." She acknowledged missing her previous friendships, but in the wake of Sandoval, she claimed to have felt betrayed by them. "Nobody has gotten back to me. Feeling deceived by friends was, I believe, the most devastating aspect of it all," Leviss added. "I understand how that sounds since I was once a friend betrayer. However, during my lowest points, I just believed that they were my real friends, that is, that they would support me and be there for me no matter what. That was simply untrue. It was devastating to realize how easily the people I was surrounded by, many of them, might turn against me. It was a really trying period," she said. I had to learn the hard way to completely cut off all communication to all of my friends. I believe we're both moving on in our lives, and I wish her ongoing success, Leviss said to the question of whether she would ever get back in touch with Madix. While the group of Vanderpump Rules dealt with the ramifications from Sandoval, Leviss was a constant subject of conversation, even though she decided not to return for season 11 of the show after the controversy. Leviss told Us Weekly that while she would be open to doing reality TV again in the future, she would only be interested in appearing in a competitive series for the time being. Leviss stated that it would be difficult for her to return to the Bravo series, particularly for Vanderpump Rules. It would require fully compensated therapy. She said, "I would need therapy sessions after every single filming session and an on-call therapist. It's not a healthy dynamic. Therefore, I'm not sure if I see a way ahead. I'm making an effort to live a genuine life and to safeguard my mental health." Additionally, she said that it was hard to hear her former castmates discuss her during season 11. "It was difficult for me to not be there to defend myself." Leviss, who expressed her opinions on her podcast during the season, added, "That is another reason why I started the podcast, so that I could have a voice. Through my podcast, I'm able to positively influence individuals. I'm thus healthier off without the show and don't really need it. Without the program, there are other avenues for me to follow my soul's mission in life." That concluded the tale and seemed like a full circle. "I don't think I'll be going back since nothing good could come of it." Throughout its 11 seasons, Vanderpump Rules has seen its fair share of drama, but none quite compared to Sandoval. It was made public in March 2023 that Tom Sandoval had cheated on his 9-year partner Ariana Madix with Rachel Leviss, a close friend and cast member. Behind Ariana's back, Tom and Rachel began an affair that lasted for 7 months. When Ariana found out about the affair, she broke up with Tom and started her vengeance tour, which was when everything came to a climax. Ariana is better than ever these days, but Vanderpump Rules isn't doing so. The cast was severely rifted by the scandal. The group of pals who had formerly been close and closely knit were now at odds with each other. Filming a coherent season was practically difficult due to the hostile climate, which might mark the demise of one of Bravo's best programs. Fans of Vanderpump Rules were curious on what would happen to the show after Sandoval. Ariana Madix forced her pals to pick a side, theirs or Tom Sandoval's. Tom was preoccupied with determining his life's course and if he would ever see his mistress, Rachel Leviss, again. The cast found it very difficult to film since Ariana wouldn't talk to Tom. This was particularly relevant because Ariana also didn't want her friends to talk to Tom. Group meetings became unbearable because most of the characters couldn't communicate with even 1 or 2 individuals. When season 11 arrived, the group had so much animosity and poison in it that it was difficult to watch VPR. It had evolved from a lighthearted reality TV show about friends pursuing their aspirations of living in Los Angeles. It turned into Tom and Ariana identifying allegiances, defending themselves, and breaking down falsehoods when pals like Lala Kent and Sheena Shea decided to stick with Tom instead of Ariana after first being devoted to her. Things got even more tumultuous given how challenging season 11 was. Viewers wondered where the program would go from here. If the chemistry was off, how could a bunch of friends go out and film together and have fun? After Sandoval, Lala Kent used to be Ariana's strongest supporter. But the more well-known Ariana grew, the angrier Lala became. In season 11, Ariana and Tom squared off after she wouldn't allow Tom to talk to her. Lala objected to Ariana's treatment of the program, saying that she should have respected her limits. Lala went on to make fun of Ariana while she was on camera, which has subsequently affected their connection. Lala said of Ariana, "I never in my life experienced someone who gets cheated on and suddenly she becomes God." Sheena Shea, Ariana's ex-best pal, felt the same way. According to Reality Tea, Sheena went so far as to express frustration with Ariana to the executive producer of VPR, reiterating that the cast needed to contribute in order for the show to continue. She implied that the future of the program was in jeopardy if Ariana didn't have one-on-ones with Tom. More significantly, no one knows if they would return for a second season. Andy Cohen said in May 2024 that the show was put on indefinite hiatus until the creators could figure out a way to keep the actors. Andy stated on Andy Cohen Live on SiriusXM, "Let's take a 4 or 5 month break from the cameras and then return to them. They will also have experienced life. Everything will be altered. In addition, Andy doesn't even know if Ariana will return for a second season. When a fan inquired about Ariana's homecoming, Andy reportedly replied, "I hope so," according to the US Sun.